Welcome to Premier Sports Talk. We are live in the studio, bringing you the sports talk show for the people. Let's dive in.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of Premier Sports Talk. And I am giving you an after-hours recap of what's going on up there with the Cleveland Browns. It's the biggest story that's going on this beginning of the NFL opening a training camp. And I'm giving you some takeaways from what my observation was of today, of day one of the Cleveland Browns up there. We're going to hear specifically from Coach Monken, giving you some foundation, his thoughts on how day one went. We're going to close this particular episode up with specifically highlights of Shedeur Sanders in day one. And let me tell you, Shedeur Sanders was on fire, and I'm not just saying it because I'm a Shedeur Sanders supporter. He was on fire. I have the ESPN QB tracker that I'm going to show you after we show his clips. And like I said, I'll do a recap. I'm getting in where I fit in, like I always like to say. And I want to know your thoughts. So if you're picking up what I'm putting down in this particular live video, hit that like button. If you really appreciate the content, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and you all let me know. Todd Monken has some what I love about Todd Monken, he is direct and to the point, y'all. He's very direct and to the point. He ain't like Kevin Stefanski when he would get asked the questions, always saying he got to look at the film. He wouldn't be candid. But I'll tell you this, Todd Monken's a straight shooter, and we're going to listen to him. I hope you enjoy. Like I said, after we listen to Todd Monken, I will go and show the Shedeur Sanders specific highlights. They're about 4 minutes long. I'll wrap it up with the QB tracker, and I'll give you my latest thoughts. So just to tell you up front, Todd Monken's holding true to his word. He says specifically, Watson and Shedeur Sanders would be getting the bulk of the reps with the number one defense, going against the number one defense. Watson got the majority of the reps today. We'll hear in this interview where Monken said that Shedeur will get the majority of the reps tomorrow. Dylan Gabriel did get 5 reps, I believe, on the field, but he ended up throwing an interception. But, hey, there will be interceptions. That's just part of the game. So let's listen to Todd Monken. Hope you enjoy. Tell me your key thoughts whenever you listen to him. And I'm here to tell you, every player on this Cleveland Browns team is having the opportunity. Every player on this Cleveland Browns team is taking in the exam for the position that they are competing for to have their opportunity to shine.
Did you get accomplished what you wanted to in your first one? The answer from every coach typically is no, we didn't, but they're never satisfied. What I am curious about, though, is going into your first training camp, there was a message that I'm sure you wanted your team to receive. Was that message received in terms of the effort that you wanted to see and the bounce that you wanted to see in your first camp?
I think so. I told the team last night, my initial thought was to tell them it's time. It's for real now in terms of when we ramp up for the opening game against the Jaguars. But really, to be honest, they were so dialed in the whole off season that really the time started all the way back when we had mini camps and OTAs. So there was really nothing to say. We got a good group of guys that like to practice. You don't really have to say much. And so today was just another one of those days where the guys came out ready to go, ready to practice. And so.
How pleased were you with the condition that everybody came back in? It seemed like, other than Malik, you had everybody ready to go, at least at the beginning of practice today.
No, that's, we're not really banged up. Malik's the only one on PUP. So we've got everybody. That was nice. Everybody passed the conditioning test, which was great and which I expected.
Yep.
And no, it was good today. And that's why you go 90 minutes the first day. You don't need to overdo it the first day. Today, offensive install is really quick game in third and medium, so you don't have a ton of routes that are down the field. We did a good number of 2 spots to take advantage of the time we did have, but it's good to get back out there and reinstall and get after it. And I thought both sides competed at a very, very high level.
And you also get, some certainty roster-wise with, you get the Denzel deal done and then you get the Delpit deal done today. So it's kind of like you said, time to go. Everybody's on the same page and let's go.
No, how cool. I said this to media, how cool it is for Denzel, and well-deserved. I mean, he's still playing at an elite level. And obviously, so is Grant. And now the pressure's on Banta and B. Lynch. I mean, they got the highest priced secondary in the freaking NFL. So now the pressure's on them.
I love that. You mentioned the 2 spot. So we were actually sitting up today, and it was nice. Corporate partners weren't there, so we were able to kind of sit up. And it was very cool. I've never seen this before where, you'd on one field with the 1s, they'd run the play, and then it would be like, as soon as that play ended on the 2s, they'd run the same play. So we got to kind of know what we were looking for on the second side. And I thought it was really neat. Is that something you've done before? I thought it was just a very cool thing. Nothing I've ever seen.
It was really 2-spotted. The timing wasn't meant to be that way. But usually the first group's going to be a little bit ahead of the second group. One, just in and out of the huddle. They've got a better grasp of what you're doing. I like to get it going to make sure we get everything in. So I'm constantly on the guys to get them to drill and get it started and get on and off the field, but maximize every minute that we have. So it's really to get the maximum amount of reps we have.
Yep.
It's not really set to almost ping pong. It's not meant to be that way. It's nice for you guys to be able to see it almost like, hey, see and anticipate on the other field. But it's meant to get as many reps as we can for the guys, maximize the time that we have. But obviously, keep it in mind the amount of reps our guys get. We can't 2-spot every drill.
Yeah,
right.
We don't have enough. But definitely trying to get as many reps as we can and develop this young team.
All of the pieces obviously matter in any sort of quarterback competition. Deshaun went first today, the way you did at minicamp. Then I assume Shedeur tomorrow is kind of the way that'll go. What did you make of their performances today? And then as this process goes along, obviously you're watching all of it. Do you have a benchmark in your head, even if you don't want to say it publicly, about when you want to kind of have this thing wrapped up?
Well, the answer is really the same. I mean, it's by the first game, it has to be wrapped up.
Really?
We have no choice. It's going to come to a head here. Actually, before then, the week of the game, and you're going to have to have made that decision of who that is. And we've got to continue to work through the first few weeks of installs. And then we're going to play in the preseason. I mean, they're going to play in the preseason, and that's the closest we're going to get, along with the practice against the Bills, to see where they're at. And I look forward to seeing all the quarterbacks compete, Dylan as well, Tay. But tomorrow, as you mentioned, Shedeur will take it with the 1s tomorrow, and we'll go back and forth. But, when you're able to 2-spot, you're just trying to stack and get as many reps as you can to allow the quarterbacks to feel comfortable. And I feel good about the depth that we've created offensively with, the 3 O-linemen we drafted, the 3 free agents we brought in, with a couple of wideouts that we have, the tight ends. So certainly we've taken a step forward in terms of giving the guys an opportunity to showcase their ability, because obviously it starts up front, okay, and their ability to get protected when you're throwing it, and then who you have, on the perimeter that can make plays for you.
We live in a day and age now where everybody's got their cell phones out and they're going to clip plays. And there were some interceptions today with Deshaun, had back-to-back ones. Through your eyes, I know you got to watch the tape, but through your eyes, how do you evaluate those plays? And how big of a deal is it really too? Because we didn't know, for example, we were saying up top, we're like,
no, we didn't know.
Oh yeah, there were a lot of passes that came out quick. It felt like a lot of, not necessarily checkdowns, but get the swing out quick, or some shorter passes. There was nothing down the field. He said, yeah, well, that's exactly what we were doing. Oh, okay. That makes a little bit more sense for people watching it. I know that you don't care necessarily what's on social media, but how do you, in your process, evaluate those types of plays and go forward from them as learning? You want to make mistakes in practice.
Well, as you mentioned, today was really a lot of quick game install that kind of matches your first day, trying to pump the ball down the field. Now, we did have play actions, so that gave us a chance. And some could happen organically with quick game conversions that could end up that way. The first interception, we ran a naked, and Denzel, I mentioned it early in my press deal, where you better get the ball off quickly, because if you're late making a throw, Denzel's got the makeup speed to close and cut in front. It was a great play more by him than, to me, a poor decision. I was standing right behind Deshaun. I would have made the throw.
Yeah.
So that the second one was a dig where he was late. Now I had to go back and look to see if he had to move in the pocket. Just just got it out late, and we got an overlap corner that made a nice play on it. And then the last one was by Dylan, and it was, trying to make a back shoulder to the field, which is very difficult. The back shoulder throw to the field is very difficult. Again, I thought two of the plays were really nice plays by corners, and the other one we were just late. But that's part of it. That's part of the learning process. I mean, you want right now, just like in the offseason, you want your quarterbacks to work at their mastery of the offense to where it's QB driven, right? Their ability to signal and change routes and be in control of the offense. You'd like to at least start that way, be aggressive with your throws, and then let's kind of reel it back in. It's hard
Figure out what
to
you
go
can get
the
away
other
with.
way,
Right.
And not take some shots down the field and give your chance for the guys a chance to make some plays. Not that, hell, I don't want to throw any interceptions, so that's not what I'm getting at. But you certainly, that's going to be part of the game. It's just, you're just trying to minimize it.
When you go just kind of along those lines with quarterbacks in particular, you want them at some point to push the boundaries in practice so that they know what they can or can't get away with. They know, for example, on that dig now, Deshaun's going to know that timing isn't that it's either got to be out or that route's not available to me now.
Sure.
How much of the learning comes from kind of stuff like that? Aaron Rodgers was just talking about this recently and saying how valuable it was, when they basically told him, no, it's okay to make mistakes and push things in practice because you want to take care of the football in the games, but you need to know where those boundaries are, where the lines are.
100%. No, I mean, you're never going to keep taking those steps. You're never going to become QB driven or controlled if you don't allow them to change plays at the line of scrimmage. If you don't allow them to get you in a premium play, if you don't allow them to take chances with the ball, then you bring it back in. And when that happens, you have to coach them, right? You can't, when they make certain decisions, you can't get after them. You can't poo-poo it. You can't MF them because then they won't do it anymore. Then they're going to stop. Yeah. Just like all of us would, right? You make a mistake and you get dog cussed over it. Then you're like, well, then you basically go into a shell. I don't want our quarterbacks to go into a shell.
Right.
Now they can't sure as hell lose us the game, for God's sakes. But I want them right now. Now is that time for us to continue to push the envelope.
And interesting too up front. It was DeWand over there at left tackle, and you guys moving through that stuff. Obviously, the answer to that I assume would be the same. We got to have that group done by the week of the first game. But just kind of your timeline with all of those new faces. We've had so many familiar guys through here through all these years, and now a bunch of new faces up front.
Yeah, we're going to, with DeWand and Spencer, we're going to treat the left tackle position a lot like the quarterback position and alternate day to day. Tomorrow, Spencer will be with the ones.
Okay.
So we're trying to kind of find the pieces, where it fits best with the guys that we have up there, and obviously give guys opportunity to compete. And that's, I don't think it's fair that every day a young player, unless they've proven it, goes with the ones, even as highly drafted as Spencer was, along with the same with the wideouts. They've got to earn it, and they've all done a great job and going to continue to ascend.
So there you have it. I just wanted to give you some in-depth, behind-the-scenes, one-on-one exclusive interview. This interview was conducted after the practice today up there in Maria. Todd Monken did speak like 20 minutes prior to practice. This was an in-depth exclusive interview with Nate and Bo on Cleveland Browns Daily. They come on YouTube from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mondays through Friday. I wanted to give you, if you didn't know, now you know. I try to give you stuff that you can hear directly from the coaches, the coordinators, hear directly from the players themselves whenever I be able to drop live feeds like this, so that whenever you hear a negative narrative that may get pushed out, we're hearing it from the coaches, we're hearing it from the coordinators, we're hearing it from the players, so we can just say whatever they try to put out there locally, the local beat reporters, if they want to spin some type of false narrative, that we don't have to worry about that. So we don't have to worry about that. Todd Monken broke down how he basically didn't crash out on, I'm going to say Watson, because he had 2 interceptions today. One was a hell of a good play by Denzel Ward. The other one, he just threw a horrible ball. It was horrible. I'm not showing no Deshaun Watson clips. I just showed you listening to Coach Todd Monken here directly. I'm going to show Shedeur Sanders clips right here Thanks to Cameron Justice. She's a news reporter up there. I love whenever she gets done with the training camp sessions up there, typically, 2 to 3 hours after it. What she does is she takes all her video clips, she splices them up, she edits them, and she puts out a clip for, it could be Watson, all his highlights, Gabriel, all his highlights, Tyler Green, all his highlights, Shedeur Sanders, all his highlights. So I'm focusing on Todd Monken and Shedeur. And then I'm going to show you the QB tracker, because in the beginning, I said Shedeur Sanders was cooking. And can't nobody take this away from Shedeur today. He was on fire. Yes, Watson was playing with going against the number 1 defense. Shedeur, 90%, he was going against the number 2 defense. But Shedeur ain't throw no interceptions. Watson did. I'm probably going to do another live short episode, also showing Watson. But I just wanted to give you something directly from the coach's mouth, because they will try to spin a narrative that, some of these players ain't doing what they're supposed to do. Here we go. Let's check this out. Y'all let me know. I'm Double P, host of Premier Sports Talk. Y'all let me know if you're picking up what you're putting down, if you like the content that I'm providing, okay? Let me know. Hell fan, looking good. He didn't practice at all during the optional training camp because he was healing up from his injury of last year of his pulled groin surgery. He just got on the field last week with the rookies. All right, that's a lot better ball there, Shedeur. These ain't different clips. Earlier today, I did a live show. It was about 2 hours long. You can go back and watch it. It was myself and Reese Will Sports Show. He lives up there in Cleveland, Ohio. We do live collaborations. So we had over 3,000 viewers watching us. We was doing live commentary of the camp. Tap in. Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe. Hit that notification bell. So anytime either one of us drop a video, that you will get it. But I got to give special shouts out to Cameron Justice. Last year and even this year, she breaks down the video for each particular player and post it. So you all can go back and check on X. You'll see clips of Deshaun Watson, even though he didn't have a good day. Shedeur Sanders, as we're watching here. Dylan Gabriel, Tyler Green. It's a video footage of each individual for the day. This is all the plays that Shedeur did today. I see it at the end of this. I'm going to show this ESPN QB tracker, and it can't be denied. We got a ball batted down there. I didn't see this play earlier. Shedeur did have a good day. Matter of fact, Shedeur went 16 and 19 on all his plays. That's how good of a day he had. The practice, we did not see a lot of plays downfield, and Todd Monken told us that when he was getting interviewed, is that the plays was designed for quick, short passes. On the outside, there was very few deep balls. And looking off players. Show it to you one more time. After this, I'm going to show the QB tracker. and give you my overall observation. Today was a beautiful day. I was so excited to see this day come. I was so excited to see this day come. We will wobble, Shedeur. Now that's how it's supposed to be thrown. Tight end Ryan. He threw it to Thrasher. That was the Cedric Tillman overthrow. Ball, non-complete ball. He had a ball batted down. There's one more he didn't complete. Tracker said he went 16 for 19. These are all the plays he had today. I'll tell you what, Watson was talking about on Instagram how, he got his head right, he got his mind right, and he feels his body right. Everybody's not going to be perfect. I will say that. But he got a young hungry guy, that wants to be QB1. I tell you what, that cliche, iron sharpens iron, and they are definitely pushing each other to bring out the best in each and every one of them. So I'm looking forward to see Shedeur go against the ones tomorrow, see how that goes. And that's Reese Will right there calling me. He probably want to do a late night episode. But yeah, I wanted to share that with you all. I think there's a little bit more of this. We got about 30 more seconds. And then after that, I'm going to go into this QB tracker. I'm going to go into the QB tracker, y'all. Go into the QB tracker. Again, I'm Double P, host of Premier Sports Talk. The ask is that if you like what I gave you, an in-depth, we heard from Coach Monken, and saw the clips of Shedeur Sanders, I want to pull up this QB tracker to go everybody's performance out there. And as we see, it's the ESPN day one of the Browns training camp wrap-up. It says here how each quarterback did. Deshaun Watson took all the first reps today. Coach Todd Monken already told us that Shedeur Sanders will be getting all the first team reps tomorrow. So he's holding true to his words. The two leading QBs going for the QB battle will be getting the majority of the reps, splitting them up from day to day. Start at the bottom. Taylor Green, a 6th-round draft pick out of the University of Arkansas. He got 5 reps. He went 3 for 5. Then Gabriel came in. I thought he only got 5 reps. He got 9 reps. He went 7 for 9 and 1 touchdown. He tried to throw the ball on an out route, and the cornerback made a hell of a play. Watson, like I said, the numbers don't lie. He didn't have a good day. He went 12 for 22 with 2 interceptions. Nobody got an interception today. Nobody got a touchdown today. They wasn't concentrating on throwing any deep routes or post across the middle. Shedeur Sanders went 16 and 19. Shedeur Sanders went 16 and 19. But yeah, Todd Monken, he was straight. He was candid. He was open on that exclusive interview from Cleveland Browns Daily. And Todd Monken, he stressed that every position has to earn to be able to be QB1. No matter how many reps they get, with what they get, they got to make the best out of each and every opportunity. He stressed there will be no shortcuts. He stressed that everybody has to be working and performing to the best of their ability. And that's what we've been seeing. Again, I'm Double P, host of Premier Sports Talk. To give you a special announcement, I will be live up in Berea. That's right, live in Berea, up in Cleveland at the training facility with Reese Will. We will be doing a live collaboration on the field August the 5th. August the 5th can't get here quick enough. On the bucket list, get to see Shedeur in person. I hope you tap in. Like I said, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, drop your comments in, and I'll see you when I see you. And thank you for being a blessing. Peace.